Adam Christ from MyMMAnews.com, being joined by the man himself, the president behind the scenes of bare knuckle fighting championships. I'm talking about my man, David Feldman. Huge card coming up in just a couple of weeks. Super Bowl weekend, big event, Knuckle Mania. First and foremost, I got to thank my man for joining me. Dave Feldman, how are you, brother?
I'm doing good, Adam, man. Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. Every time I get a chance, it's always fun to learn something new. We'll see what we learn tonight, right? So, Knuckle Mania, man, Super Bowl weekend. You have the debut of Paige Van Zandt taking on Britain Hart. You have Johnny Bedford defending his 135-pound belt against Dat Nguyen in a rescheduled bout that was supposed to happen. And you got Quentin Harris against the crippler, Chris Lieben, the absolute legend. This is just the peak of this card, and even the undercard is phenomenal. So tell me, how do you feel about this card, dude?
Yeah, man, it's amazing. It's, we're billing it as the biggest bare knuckle card ever, which I think it is. I mean, yeah, we haven't been around that long, and it's a tremendous card from top to bottom, as most of our cards really deliver great fights, time and time again, each and every fight. But this one is just special. It's special because it kind of solidifies us. Like, we're moving into mainstream now, right? We're doing a fight Friday before the Super Bowl, 20 minutes away from where the Super Bowl is being played. So it's like almost like, we're getting there now. We're like really, truly arriving. And it's amazing. I mean, we got Paige Van Zandt, a social media superstar, former star of the UFC, dancing with the Stars, Sports Illustrated cover girl, like you name it, she's done it, and she's fighting for us. And then you got a legend like Chris Lieben, who's been in there with everybody, some of MMA's greatest fighters ever. He's been in there with. He's a great guy, and it's great to have him have his retirement fight with us. And then Johnny Bedford and Dat Nguyen. It's going to be probably one of the best fights that we're ever going to witness.
Can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait to order it. It's going to be on the top of my priority list. Can't wait to cover it on top of that.
Right.
Again, like I said, so this has been our first time talking on air in quite a bit. So I want to talk about just a little bit of a flashback. 2020 was a rough year, but BKFC made it through. You guys put on some fantastic events. But I want to talk about your first holiday as a grandfather. How was it, my man?
No, it was great, man. It was different. I mean, they're not really doing much yet, but it was just a touching moment. People that know me and know what I've built here know my relationship with my son. We're not just father son. We're best friends. So it was a great thing to see. And actually, we're talking today. I get to babysit for the first time on Saturday night. They said they wanted to go out. I said, I'll babysit. And they're like, are you ready? I said, am I ready? It's not my first rodeo, guys. I said, I got this. So I'm going to did baby Dante for the first time. So it's going to be fun. And I'm just looking forward to it. It's great to in everything that I do, I love to evolve, right? And now the family evolving. So it's awesome.
So going from there, man, I want to keep it on the family for just a little bit, because you discussed your son, David, and the lineage in the Feldman family in boxing and combat sports. It runs deep. I want to take it back to your father for a second, the late, great Marty Feldman. Rest in peace. Obviously a great man. He's an illustrious coach, fantastic fighter in his own right. But you seem to have the same kind of grit, the determination, that go-getter attitude. I want to ask, what can you take away from your father as far as his combat, persona into your combat persona and a personality?
There's just a lot of little things that he taught me, like he was like this rough, tough dude, right? So he raised us on his own, because my mother was actually she became a quadriplegic at a very young age for us, that accident. And my mom is actually where I get all the grit and determination from, to be honest with you. Like I said, a quadriplegic. She was in the wheelchair Olympics. She painted pictures with her mouth. Like she did amazing things and never knew what the word no was about. So I think I got it from that. But as far as my dad, it's like a couple things that he preached, and two things that really always stick out. He said, if you don't lie, you don't have to remember anything. And I'm always like, just be straight with these guys. And then, if you're not 100% loyal, you're nothing. You can't be 99% loyal. You're either 100 or you're nothing. And those two things, I think, have enabled me to really forge these great relationships with these fighters and these managers, because there's no bullshit in me. It is what it is. You get what you get. I tell you how it is. and and we're putting on a great product. So I think just always do the right thing was the thing. And look, he had a rough life, and he did what he had to do to raise us. So it was it was great being around that, and just being around combat sports my whole life was it was amazing. I met so many different characters from the bottom of the barrel to the top of the heap. So it really made us very well rounded, and I think prepared for this this run we're doing right now.
So, all right, so you obviously, the grit and determination, it comes from both sides, your mother and your father, obviously. But getting on to brighter, bigger things as far as what your combat sports career brings you right now, and Knuckle Mania going down Super Bowl weekend, the Paige Van Zandt signing. I think I'm not speaking for myself. I think other people believe this as well. It kind of took a little bit of people by shock. They weren't necessarily expecting Paige Van Zandt to join into bare knuckle. And then here we are. She's about to make her debut against somebody like Britain Hart. And man, it blew the world up. And now the focus is all on BKFC. That just has to be a culmination coming together that is like no other.
Absolutely, it is, Adam. You've known me actually for a long time. Back when I did MMA, I did a lot of firsts back then. I did 2 shows in the same night in 2 different states. I did 2 shows the same day. Like, I always wanted to push the envelope a little bit, and pushing the envelope here. Look, it's a risk for us. She's getting paid a lot of money, and she's delivering. So far, she's delivering. She has a tremendous social media following. She's mainstream in the media. People want to cover her, and we took a risk with it. And I really believe that this gamble is going to pay off. But if you don't go for things, you're never going to know. So we're doing what we have to do. We actually debuted yesterday at 5 p.m. We had our first show on Sirius XM. It's called Knuckle Up Radio with Paige Van Zandt. Show went tremendous. So we're just doing all these different things that's going to help really blow this event up and help really push bare knuckle forward. And I think, obviously I'm on the inside, but I hear from a lot of people, I think we're really, really starting to creep into that mainstream era right now. So it's pretty amazing for us.
I can't disagree with you, man. I mean, from Paige Van Zandt, Hector Lombard, Thiago Alves. I mean, the list goes on of combat superstars that have gotten into BKFC. I'm curious. Like I said, Paige Van Zandt seems like probably the biggest star thus far. It's gotten most notoriety. Do you think this is just breaking the doors open for other combat sports athletes to make their transition over to BKFC? But I know you've said before, bare knuckle isn't for everybody.
No, it's not for everybody, but I mean, for real combat sports fans and real fighters, this is what it's all about. It doesn't get any more real than this. It's fast paced. It's exciting. It's really everything you want as a fan. So as a fighter, you're not taking, it looks superficially, you're getting cut, right? You might get your face swollen a little bit, but we just had a report come out from the president of the Association of Ringside Physicians that bare knuckle fighting championship actually has less broken hands, less facial fractures, and less concussions or concussiveness than boxing or MMA. So that was a tremendous report for us, because that is really opening up doors for us. But what you mentioned about Paige Van Zandt, it's definitely the tip of the iceberg. There are so many more things about to happen. We're actually, we're funded very well for what we're doing now, but we're going through what's called Series B funding. We're going to do something really, really exciting here that nobody's going to expect in the next 3 to 6 months. And I think people are going to be like, wow, I didn't see this coming. Just like they don't see a lot of things coming, and that's the good thing, but we're always pushing the envelope, Adam. And I think we do have a recipe for success, and, time's going to tell.
And the other side of the ring from her will be Britain Hart. Obviously, no slouch in herself. She came into the BKFC and she came banging. So this is no walk in the park for Paige Van Zandt. You put her against the Wolves and you didn't give her an easy fight. Like you said, you're not going to do. You're not going to bullshit. You're not going to be the one that's going to give people easy fights. If you're not about it, get out. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. And her first fight being Britain Hart is phenomenal. I can't wait to see that. That matchup is perfect for Paige making her debut, and I just think it's fantastic. What do you think about Britain taking on Paige Van Zandt? Because that superstardom could absolutely flip the page on her if she wins this fight.
Absolutely. Look, let's talk about Paige just for a second first. Paige is a person who didn't need to do this. She didn't have to do it, but it went to some of the other bigger MMA organizations and made this very comparable money. So she's testing herself. And I really respect people that test themselves, people that want to put themselves out there. So, I haven't talked to Paige a lot, but the little bit of talk that I did with her is just, she wants to be the best she can be at anything she does. And as soon as I said Bret Hart, she's like, yeah, no problem, done. And she was there commentating her fight. So she saw what she could do. She knows she had a life and death match with Beck Rawlings. She had a really good fight with Christine Fiera. So it's a tremendous fight, man. This is going to be unbelievable. But I really think that Paige Van Zandt is going to rise to the challenge. I don't know who's going to win, but I think she's going to perform a lot better than a lot of people are giving her credit for.
Yeah. Christina Fiera, like you just said, she's going on social media quite a bit and saying that the winner of that matchup gets gifted the present of her. Is there any truth behind that one?
We'll see what happens. I mean, look, we just have to see how this one pans out. Christine definitely is going to start fighting. We had a long talk. She's very emotional, and the thing I like about her a lot is she puts her heart into this, and because of that, sometimes she gets her feelings hurt and gets upset. But I did have a really good talk with her and let her know she's a big part of the success of this organization, and we're definitely going to push her. Does that come next for Paige Van Zandt or Bret Hart? I don't know. Is it in the picture? Yeah, it's in the picture, definitely.
So moving on to the co-main event, man, Johnny Bedford recovering from his injury. 4-0, he's the champ, and he's taking on Dat Nguyen, who is 20-3 in professional boxing. So theoretically, he has the boxing experience over Johnny Bedford, making this that much more interesting. And yeah, man, this one should be blowing the fans away. What do you expect out of this one?
I just talked about this earlier. It's a coin flip, man, because you would think theoretically on paper this is just using your hands that Nguyen would walk through them, but you cannot ever doubt anything that Johnny Bedford does. He's actually 5-0 with us. Weird fighter that we have. He's our lightweight champion. He's big. He's huge at 135. Mm-hmm. So, his distance, his height, and his strength, could pose a real problem for Dat. I mean, it's just the one thing I will say, it's a fight I'm very much as a fan looking forward to see, because anything can happen in that fight.
Speaking of fights that you're looking forward to, I wanted to ask, what are some of the ones not on the main card that you think the fans should really be paying attention for?
There's a girls fight on the undercard, Taylor Starling versus Charissa Sigla. So looking forward to that fight. I think that's going to be a great fight. Travis Thompson's coming back. He's fighting Dave Morgan. A lot of people don't know Dave Morgan, but I know him from the tough man kind of scene in Arizona, and he's probably had 30, 40 fights, and he always comes to fight. That's going to be a really good fight as well. Dylan Kleckler, he scored a good knockout for us in July. I'm really looking forward to see what he can deliver. And just so many. Honestly, I don't have the fight card in front of me, so if anyone's mad at me for forgetting, I'm sorry. I just got so much going on. I don't have it all. Oh, Martin Brown. Martin Brown is fighting Zach Zane from Hawaii. Martin Brown is the guy. He fought on a Total Line show. He's the guy that I think throws. I'm not saying he hits the hardest. He may, but he throws with the baddest intentions of anybody I've ever seen in BKFC so far. So I'm really looking forward to see what he can do.
And Chris the Crippler Lieben, he's found his success in bare knuckle fighting, right? But he's coming off of a loss in BKFC. Quentin Harris, man, 2 devastating knockouts. I mean, this kid, he seems to have found his path in BKFC, I would say. This match, I don't see it lasting. I don't think it's going to make it the entire fight. What's your thoughts on that fight? Do you think it's going to go the entire fight? I think someone's getting knocked out.
I don't either. But again, another coin flip. That's the thing. A great evenly matched fight. The one thing about Chris Lieben on his last fight when he lost, he was actually at the cardiologist that day. He had to get a new test done. So he wasn't really 100%. I think he's going to be 100% for this because he's really got not a lot going on right now because of COVID. So he's training his ass off. And I think he's gonna surprise a lot of people. But Quentin Henry, he's just another type of dude. He got dropped his first fight, got up and scored a sensational knockout. Just scored another sensational knockout. So again, a great fight as a fan. Looking forward to seeing this. Really like Chris Lieben a lot. After this fight, he's going to actually come and start working for BKFC. He's going to be an ambassador for us. So I'm really looking forward to be working with him in after his retirement from fighting.
That's awesome, man. I'm going to start winding it down, but I did want to ask just a few more questions. 2020, like I said, it was a rough year for everybody, but 2021 is planning to be a huge year for BKFC. Like you said, you always push it to the limits. Anything you want to touch on right now, other than the serious show and everything we've discussed? What big bombs you have to drop on us? I remember January 8th, you hinted on Facebook to a big announcement.
Yeah, it's almost there, Adam. I just can't because we're so close, but it's something that's what I said to people are going to be like, wow, how did they do that? And we're going to do something really cool. And it's, you know, it's something that's going to be very unexpected. People do know that Shaq was at our last show. We're very close to forging a really long-term relationship with Shaq, and that's going to be wonderful for us as well. And just some of the fighters that are going to be signed with us, I just can't mention the names because if I do and another organization hears and picks them up, you know, it's a problem for us. But just so excited. But as you mentioned, 2020 was a tough year for everybody, and I feel so bad for everybody. They got affected, sick, died, lost their business. It was horrible. It was horrible for us at the beginning. But the grit, the determination, we figured out a way to make it happen. We did 6 shows in 2020 and tripled our fan base. So we tripled our fan base and tripled our social media in 2020. That's really unbelievable, right? I mean, and we did it because we just said we have to find a way. We can't, if we sat out the whole 2020, we were irrelevant. So we had to, we did what we had to do. We pushed through and we made it a sensational year, and we're going to get off to a wonderful 21.
Tripled your numbers, and it was before your 3rd year anniversary since inception. That's just, if people think about that, it's absolutely fantastic and it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it took us 26 months to get to a certain point, and then it took us another 8 months to get to that exact point, and then another 3 months to double that. So it was like, wow, this thing is really catching fire, man. So, you know, we're happy about the growth, man. It's fantastic. The fighters are unbelievable. Our partners, our sponsors, our app is doing great. And, you know, I just can't wait to announce a couple things, and maybe I'll drop one on you as soon as I get the go ahead, Adam.
Hey, man, you have my number. I have yours. Facebook. Hey, you know how to get in touch with me, my friend. So, again, like I said, winding it down, any upcoming news about the heavyweight champ, Joey Beltran? When can we expect him back? And super welterweight champ, Luis Palomino.
Yeah, Luis Palomino probably about the same time, April, May. We're just figuring that out right now. We might see the winner of Zach Zane and Martin Brown fight Palomino. You know, we'll see how those guys look. Artem Lobov is also talking about fighting Palomino, so that could definitely be a possibility as well. Joey Beltran will fight Sam Shoemaker April, May. You know, Sam Shoemaker, I had a talk with him before his last fight, and I said, listen, you can fight, but if you don't go out there and fight, we're probably not going to use you again. And he went out there and fought. Like, he was unbelievable. That I told you, this is the new Sam Shoemaker. So, I mean, that fight's going to be fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that. I just want to drop our website. If you're looking to watch the Paige Van Zandt fight, bareknuckle.tv, you can get all the pay-per-view information, and you can get tickets. The tickets, there's very few left. They're going really, really fast. Well, you know, we are lucky enough to be able to do a show around Super Bowl with a pretty nice sized crowd. So we're happy about that. But again, bareknuckle.tv, it'll give you all the pay-per-view ordering information. I just want to drop this too. In case you're a Bare Knuckle TV subscriber, we are sending you out a separate email with a separate link that you get 50% off the subscription for being a loyal BKFC, BKTV subscriber. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I'm sure that all your fans will appreciate that one, man. Yeah. All right. Well, I will definitely let you go, my friend. I think I've bothered you enough for this time around. Dave,
Thanks,
man,
Adam.
like always, I said, yeah, we've known each other for quite a while. I appreciate you being on as always, man. And, you've just absolutely blown away with BKFC, and I couldn't be happier for you. Just on a personal level, professional level, you're doing it, man, and you're doing it big. So good luck to you in the future, and Knucklemania, best of luck, man. I look forward to it.
Thanks for having me again, brother. Take care.
All right, there he goes, Dave Feldman Sr., president of BKFC. They are getting ready for Knucklemania, which goes down February 5th in Tampa, Florida, which will feature the debut of Paige Van Zandt, Britton Hart being her opponent, Johnny Bedford defending his 135-pound belt against Dat Nguyen. We have Quentin Henry taking on Chris the Crippler Lieben. This card is stacked. You don't want to miss it. For David Feldman, I'm Adam Christ. Make sure you keep a lock to mymmanews.com for all your fight news.